Welcome or welcome back to another Spotlight Saturday video. And as it is still August, we are continuing our little mini Spotlight Saturday theme of Omnibus August with this time a complete series. And last Saturday we talked about Isak. If you missed that video, go watch it after this one for more manga recommendations, because I really enjoyed the first omnibus, but it was a bit of a heavier one with topics of war and, you know, just a darker theme in general. So I wanted to mix it up today with a series that is more on the softer and sweet side, albeit a rather wistful read, and that is After the Rain, a complete series at 5 of these omnibus volumes, which is altogether a pretty reasonable length of a kind of more slice of life, more introspective themed series that is rather character heavy. One such character is this beauty on the cover, one of our protagonists. But this series I would describe as less of a coming of age story and more of a story that's focused on the various transitional periods that we all, no matter our ages, go through and encounter during the course of our lives. Not just when we are young. So off the bat, I'm going to dump the summary onto you and then go from there and explain how I still love this series so much and truly believe it's worth the read. You'll see what I mean when I get into the summary. So we have Akira Tachibana, a 17-year-old high school junior. She is the lovely girl gracing our covers. Akira is awkward when it comes to expressing her feelings and finds herself secretly falling for the manager of the family restaurant where she works, one Masami Kondo, age 45. The curtain rises on the small love story that begins to unfold between Akira, stuck standing on the crossroads of adolescence, and Kondo at the turning point of his own life. I think, based on that summary, this series sounds pretty darn problematic. Especially when they use words such as the small love story, because that age gap turns my stomach, quite frankly. However, this love story is not at all what I think most of our minds would jump to. It is, after all, a one-sided crush, an infatuation on the side of Akira. And though it may be flattering to Kondo, our middle-aged restaurant manager, he responds merely with kindness and care for her. He treats Akira's feelings delicately, without dismissing them entirely, but without allowing it to go too far. He sees she's struggling through many things at this time in her young life as she learns to come into her own as a full-fledged human being. But importantly, in my opinion, he doesn't take advantage of her in this time of weakness, in this transitional phase that she is struggling through, and easily, as so many annoying situations like this happen in real life, and I'm sure there are real life condos, but a lot of times older man, when a young girl professes she has a crush on him, will just take that at face value and be like, oh my God, that's so lucky of me. This young, impressionable girl has a crush on me. Instead, he softly guides her to finding her own path and supports her until she is strong enough to be able to move forward on her own. He sees her youth, her passion, her determination, and he envies it, but at the same time, it actually ends up inspiring him to get out of his own way and reignite his own passions in his life. So essentially, her crush really helps them both, but I don't think it's the crush so much as the positive bond that they create because of her one-sided feelings. It is, albeit a weird dynamic because of Akira's crush on Kondo, who is much older than her, and her manager at work. So we have that hierarchy, even though it's just a family restaurant. It's still a power dynamic where he has more power than her. And yet, this series just comes across as so darn wholesome. All the characters introduced in this series feel fleshed out and their own individuals that are each going through their own trials and tribulations and growing no matter their age or where they are in life. And even the minor characters that are introduced are fleshed out and interesting in their own rights. The array of characters throughout shows us that we as humans are always capable of growth, always able to try again at something that we care about, that we're passionate about, and to persevere in life no matter our age. I personally think Kondo's journey is the most interesting part of this one for me for multiple reasons, but I think you will genuinely be able to find at least one character that you can resonate with, if not all of them, that you find likable and interesting to follow along in their journeys. It's a series that's introspective, taking time to dive deep into our characters' feelings, lives, and desires, meditating on character interactions and the small moments of life and relationships, rather than relying on manufactured drama and over-the-top emotion. It all just comes across as really relatable and realistic. All in all, I feel the title of this series really encapsulates the theme and overall message of the work, After the Rain. You may have to wait for the rain to end. You might get soaked in the rain. You may get tired of waiting for the rain to end, but eventually the rain will end. The sun will come out. There might be a rainbow in the sky, birds chirping. That is some of the imagery that is evoked when you hear the words after the rain. Overall, leaving you with an uplifting impression and the sentiment of a clean slate, a fresh start, a new beginning. It perfectly blends the melancholic, sorrowful moments with the clarity and cleansed feeling of coming through those times and reaching the other side to continue to build or rebuild your life afterwards. This one is beautifully written as well as illustrated and is a manga series that has really impacted me in the best ways and is one that I look forward to revisiting again at some point down the line. It's a manga I have a lot of love for, and I'm really excited to hear if any of you have read it, and if so, what are your thoughts on it? Did you also love it? Did it leave a good lasting impression on you as well? And if you haven't read it yet, I'd love you to tell me in the comments below about an introspective, thoughtful, touching series that has really made an impression on you, like After the Rain has for me. And of course, if you are interested in reading After the Rain now that I have sung its praises. And before I go, if you do enjoy these manga deep dives, I really appreciate you giving the video a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more manga content. So until next time.